What happens when your biggest fear isn't a monster, but public disapproval? Marcus, a gentle bookstore owner, faces a storm of criticism when he chooses to champion free speech. This story reveals how standing for your values, even when it's incredibly hard, can transform your world and build a truly resilient community. Discover the power of doing the right thing. Marcus had always dreamed of creating a welcoming bookstore for his small town, a cosy space filled with stories and community. His little shop on Maple Street was his heart's work, but he hid a secret fear: the need to be liked by everyone. Conflict terrified Marcus. Even a single disapproving voice could unravel his carefully balanced world. He avoided controversial events, always cautious, always seeking harmony. One afternoon, a manuscript changed everything. A local author's raw exploration of the town's history, with its difficult truths and overlooked voices, captivated him. It was controversial, yet important. Despite his fear, Marcus believed in free speech and the power of dialogue. He decided to host a reading for the author, a choice that would test his carefully constructed piece. Announcing the reading on social media unleashed a storm. A furious post mischaracterized the book, and angry comments flooded in, threatening boycotts and insults. The peaceful shop suddenly felt hostile. Neighbours avoided him, friends questioned his judgment, and the noise of disapproval grew deafening. What was he thinking? Why risk everything? Didn't he want to be liked? The question swirled in his mind, tightening the band of anxiety around his chest. He felt as if he had betrayed not only the community, but himself, his values crumbling under the weight of disapproval. Pacing the room, he stared at the window, the event time approaching. Cancelling seemed like the only escape, a way to end the nightmare. But wouldn't cancelling mean abandoning his values? Giving up the very principle that made his bookstore more than just a business? Night fell, and Marcus stood by the door, heart pounding with anxiety. What if no one came? What if protesters showed up? Then a small group of people trickled inside, quiet, thoughtful readers curious about the story better left untold. One woman gently placed her hand on Marcus's arm and simply said, "Thank you for doing this, Marcus. It's important." The room fell silent as the author began to read. The listeners leaned in, absorbing every word with respect and contemplation. Marcus watched quietly from the back, the initial dread dissolving into a calm he hadn't expected. In that moment, the bookstore didn't feel hostile anymore. It felt alive and true, a place of genuine connection. Marcus realised he'd been blinded by the loudness of the backlash, failing to see the value of his supporters. He couldn't please everyone, no one could. But he had listened to the part of his community that craved honest dialogue. When the reading ended, a subtle pride took root inside Marcus. He had stood for something, even when it was hard. Anxiety still lingered, but it was now mixed with a gentle certainty. Doing the right thing was worth the discomfort. From that night on, Marcus knew his bookstore could be more than just a place of pages. It could be a space of courage. A space for conversation where different voices could be heard and respected, even when they challenged the status quo. And a space for growth, for himself and for everyone brave enough to listen and learn. Marcus began hosting regular events that sparked important conversations, unafraid of differing opinions. He learned that true community wasn't about avoiding conflict, but about navigating it with empathy and respect. The bookstore became a haven for those seeking not just stories, but also a place to belong and feel heard. Marcus still felt anxious sometimes, but now he knew that facing his fears was worth the reward of living authentically. His bookstore, once a place of quiet comfort, had transformed into a vibrant heart of courage and community. And Marcus, the bookstore owner who once feared disapproval, had found his voice and his purpose, making a difference in the world, one book at a time. With every book he shared, every conversation he sparked, Marcus reaffirmed that the right thing, though often difficult, was always worth doing.